Well, the final Friday of the season is in the books, Mary Kay. The Browns held their final practice of the 2021 season. Of course, it's 2022 now on Friday. And we heard from Myles Garrett, as we have every single Friday this season. And he kind of talked about this season, how much room he has to grow. I guess, what did you think of what you heard from Myles today?
Well, I think the number one thing that he has said this season consistently is that the most important thing is for him to win a Super Bowl. That's what he wants. That's what he's coming back for. The individual accolades don't mean as much to him anymore. And he reached some of those this year. He had the single season sack record for the Browns right now at 15. He had the Browns single game sack record at 4.5. So he reached a few things. He made the Pro Bowl. But now, as he's getting along in his career, he wants to get to the Super Bowl. And I think he will be very vocal about that in the offseason. He spoke about how he is speaking up more as a player now. And I think he will make his feelings known. If he sees areas of the team that need improvement, I think he will share that with the right people. And I think he will do whatever it takes to help these Cleveland Browns get to the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah, this has really been a year where Myles Garrett has sort of taken ownership of his role and taken ownership of his status on the team and the security that he has that comes with that contract he signed back in the summer of 2020. Now, another guy that we haven't heard from in a while is Jarvis Landry. And of course, he was sort of that culture changer as well when he first got here in 2018. And normally a guy that we talk to every single week, just like Myles, but we haven't talked to Jarvis in a team setting since Odell Beckham Jr. was sent packing. Kevin Stefanski has been asked about Jarvis a couple times this week. Didn't really give us a whole lot as far as how Jarvis is doing, but Mary Kay, what's your vibe on Jarvis right now?
Well, I still get the strong feeling that the organization values him, likes him a lot, and that if the money situation works out, that they would like to have Jarvis back. Now, he will be turning 30 in November of next year, and his production wasn't exactly what he wanted it to be or they wanted it to be this year for a number of reasons, including some injuries and Baker Mayfield's issues and whatnot. But if they can find a path forward that maybe doesn't include the entire $16.55 million, then I could see him coming back. And not that that is an exorbitant amount for a Pro Bowl receiver, but for one turning 30 in a year when you're probably going to have to turn over that receiver room a little bit, it might need a little tweaking.
Now, a couple other guys to keep an eye on, Jadeveon Clowney, David Njoku, some guys who are hitting free agency for sure after the season. Of course, the Browns could negotiate before that league year begins, but they're on track to hit free agency this off season. Do you think those guys have played their last games as members of Cleveland Browns, or will we be saying that, I guess, after Sunday's game?
Well, I know that the Browns would like to have both of those players back. And when we did talk to Myles today, he said he is going to make that pitch again for Jadeveon. He wants him back. Those guys became friends, off the field. They became really good teammates together on the field. They complement each other very well. 7 sacks. I think that exceeded anyone's expectations for Jadeveon Clowney, considering he had only 3 in the previous 2 years combined. So he got back up to a little bit more of almost like a Pro Bowl type level of play in some regards. And so they want him back. It's going to be up to money and what he wants. And then as far as David Njoku, he has said he would like to be back. And last time I talked to him, he said that some preliminary talks have started. So I think they will make every effort to get him under contract before he hits the free agent market. I think there's a decent chance he'll be back here.
Okay, last thing as the Browns go into this game, look, Nick Chubb didn't carry the ball a bunch on Monday Night Football. Some of that had to do with him being injured. Maybe some of that was protecting Nick too in a game that was ultimately meaningless. Are there some guys in this game, including Nick Chubb, that you think maybe Kevin is going to play it extra safe with, whether he just sits them, gives Nick maybe 8 to 10 carries and tells him to have a seat? Is it the wise thing to do in this game to just not put that wear and tear on some of these guys?
Well, yes, in a perfect world, I think that's what you would want to do. But they have some issues at running back heading into this football game. So it's not going to be easy to rest everybody that would need rest. Dearness Johnson is on COVID-19 reserve right now. And then you have Kareem Hunt coming off of an ankle injury, and he's someone that you're not 100% certain should be playing in this final game. And as you mentioned, Nick suffered a little bit of a rib injury. So it might be a little tough to sit down the guys you might want to sit down, and they're going to have to balance that a little bit and see how they can get it done.
Okay, it'll be interesting, I guess, is what we'll say about Sunday's game against the Bengals. It's going to be the AFC North champion Bengals, led by Brandon Allen, against the Case Keenum-led Cleveland Browns. We're going to cover it because that's what we do. We'll have it all at cleveland.com/Browns.